Good morning, habari za asubuhi, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to be somehow present in Iringa during MKWAWA conference. It's my second time. First time I had pleasure to be there in real in Iringa in 2017, if I could remember. Unfortunately, part our team, Miss Rusana Lionchuk, Ukrainian academician and PhD student, unfortunately we can meet together to record for you this video. To not waste that time, I will read fast as I can our paper because we haven't chance to be with you together during the time of presentation. Our title is Intelligent Education in a Disoriented Society. Why this topic? The title of our presentation is deliberately provocative. Intelligent education in a disoriented society. It's not mean to offend, but rather to open a serious conversation. Our aims is to ask, can education be truly intelligent, reflective, critical, uh, transformative if the society in which it functions is fragmented, ideologically polarized or systematically unjust? By intelligent education, we refer not to technological advancement or high test scores, but to education that cultivates judgment, critical thinking, and the capacity to live meaningfully with others. A disoriented society in our usage is one of where values are confused, direction is lacking, and systematic structure often contradict the ideals they claim to uphold. We ground our reflective in three very different yet interconnected national contexts: Tanzania, Ukraine, and Poland. Our focus is on the contradiction between educational intentions and social realities. Three contexts, one question. Can the school be emancipatory? Let us begin with Tanzania. There, the legacy of colonial education persists in the dominance of English as the language of instruction, despite the fact that many children grow up speaking Kiswahili. Education is highly exam driven and stratified, with early selection and limited mobility. It serves to consolidate rather than challenge existing social hierarchies. In Ukraine, the collapse of the Soviet Union led to the rhetorical embrace of democratic education, but many practices remain authoritarian. After the Maidan Revolution, and especially in the wake of the war, schools become spaces of trauma, displacement, and emergency adaptation. What does critical thinking look like in the midst of national crisis? In Poland, despite major political transformation, the educational system remains remarkably centralized with rigid curricula and increasing ideological pressure from the government. Teachers are underpaid or overburdened. Students are overtested. Reforms have focused on the structure, not on the purpose. In all three cases, the educational system mirrors social dysfunction rather than overcoming them. Thus, the schools often becomes a place of adaptation, not emancipation. Then arrive the paradox: reforming school without reforming society. Pierre Bourdieu reminds us the schools tends to reproduce social capital rather than redistribute it. Paulo Freire, in his critique of the banking model of education, emphasized that without a critical understanding of reality, education becomes domestication, not liberation. How can we expect students to become democratic citizens when they have no say in the organization of their own school life? How can we speak of equality in education when society marked by deep inequalities? There is a fundamental paradox here. Attempts to reform education often ignore the broader social forces that shape its possibilities. As results, schools may end up reinforcing the very system they are meant to challenge. Next point, our presentation before conclusion is what do we mean by intelligent education. We propose that intelligent education is not about being more efficient, measurable, or digital. It's about cultivating capabilities that are essential for living in a shared world. Critical thinking, not rote learning. Empathy and ethical reflection, not complicance. Creative and collaboration, not isolate performance. The courage to ask questions, not only to provide answer. In this spirit, intelligent education means empowering students to understand their own context, to act within them, and to imagine alternatives. It requires time, trust, and dialogue. It also requires teachers who are not just delivers of content but facilitators of meaning making and demand a social commitment to creating schools not as factories of labor but as laboratories of democracy. Conclusion. What now? We do not believe that education alone can fix society, but we believe that without a change in how we educate, no lasting social transformation is possible. To return to our title, is intelligent education possible in disoriented society? Perhaps the better question is can we afford not to try? Let us end with an invitation not to agreement but to dialogue. How can we support intelligent education in societies that are themselves struggling to define their future? Thank you for attention. We look forward for the discussion. Our idea is to put this movie in the Facebook, in the YouTube. You can add your comments, suggestion even after conference. Let me apologize again that only myself presented fast as I can these our ideas. Miss Lionchuk unfortunately stay in another part of Poland and we cannot make a video conference, record it and share with you. But we have hope that our text will be acceptable and you can read it also at the end. Thanks again, Asante Sana, and we wish all of you successful attendant in this great academical event or event journey. Thank you so much.